Very funny guy coming up and knocking it out. Give it up for the very funny Chris Tompkins.
How y'all doing? For those of you that don't know me, my name is Chris Tompkins. And I don't know if y'all can tell just by looking at me, but I'm going to go bald one day. It's something I've come to terms with. What happens when you go bald is the hair on the top of your head stops growing, but the hair on the sides of your head grows the way it did when you were a healthy 8-year-old boy. So if I don't get cut like every 2 weeks, I get what I like to call the bozo the clown effect, where the sides of my hair just kind of poof out into oblivion, and it scares little children, and incidentally attractive women as well. Here's how you tell if you're going bald. If whenever you go to the barber, instead of saying, "Hey, can I have a haircut?" you now have to say, "Hey, can you make me less creepy?" If you have to say that, you're probably going bald. By round of applause, anybody in here ever get their haircut at Supercuts? The discount franchise haircutting place? I'd have to. I'm guilty of this myself. I've always felt that Supercuts' motto should be, "Want to not get laid for 3 weeks? Well, come on down for a trim." Supercuts is the Skull Vodka of hair salons. Whatever you do, don't cut my bangs. Oh, there they go. Oh, shit. I went to pay my electricity bill over the phone the other day, and the guy asked me for my social security number, and I said, "Well, the bill's in my roommate's name. I don't have his number." And he said, "Well, I can't let you do it without his authorization." And I was like, "Oh, I see what's going on here. Don't want to let any intruders slip through the cracks. I get it." Because my roommate would be pretty steamed if he came home one day and found out his bill balance was $0 and he didn't know how the hell it happened. I can see it now. Who the fuck paid our bill?
Why, if I ever catch this guy.
I graduated from Louisiana State University a few years back. Thank you very much. It was a degree in history, which is like no degree at all. But right after I graduated, I live on my own now, but right after I graduated, I lived with my parents for a little while, and it's kind of weird living with your parents at that age, you know? Like when you're in 9th grade and you get into an argument with your parents and you're like, "I don't need you, I'll go live on my own somewhere." And they're like, "Where will you go? Get back in your room." But when you're 25 and you're going bald and you haven't shaved your nasty whiskers in weeks, and you're like, "I don't need you, I'll go live on my own somewhere." And they're like, "Who are you and what are you doing in our living room?" "I want a Pop-Tart." Oh man, my family and I went to Washington, D.C. this past summer, and when we got there, we were trying to figure out what we wanted to do, and we were tossing the idea around of taking a tour of the Pentagon, but none of us knew if the Pentagon gave tours. So my mom, being a mom, was like, "Well, I'll just give them a call and ask them." And it worked, which is kind of cool that you can look up the fucking Pentagon on the Yellow Pages and give them a ring. That's also kind of weird, you know? Like, has anybody ever misdialed and accidentally gotten the Pentagon? "Thank you for calling the Pentagon. This is Captain Keller speaking." Shut up, Randy. You know what I mean? Like, makes me want to call up there and be like, "Are y'all hiring?" "I beg your pardon?" "If I come up there, can I fill out an application?" "Actually, yes, we just fired a guy." Or it makes me want to drunk dial him. "Thank you for calling the Pentagon." "Hey! We're at Rotolo's. Come on."